Attention, ladies and gentlemen.
It's time to embrace a youthful mindset and envision your future. Take the lead is in your walls.
Take the lead is in your walls.
This platform serves as a space for engagement designed to equip young people to become effective leaders. They are actively contributing, creatively engaged, and determined in various fields. And now, this is Take the Lead.
It's a brand new day, a sunrise bursting with energy, inspiration, and pure empowerment. And guess what? Today, young voices aren't just speaking, they are rising, they are shining, and they are taking the lead. A warm, bright, and beautiful welcome to Take the Lead, your vibrant youth exchange program here on West Africa Democracy Radio, broadcasting live from the lively heart of Dakar in Senegal. I am your host, Augustine Curley, and family. Today is very special. We are rolling into our 48th edition. Yes, number 48. And trust me, you are going to love what we've prepared for you today. This edition, we are diving deep into a powerful and timely conversation. Academic education versus technical vocational training. Which pathway offers the ideal future for young people? So wherever you are listening or tuning in from on 94.9 FM in Dakar, we are also streaming live on WADR.org or watching us on YouTube at WADR, also on Facebook, WADR English Service. We want you in the conversation. We want to hear from you. Also, drop your comments on our live feed. Share your views and we will read them live on the radio. Turn up the volume. I want you to get comfortable and let's make this moment unforgettable. Together, let's inspire, let's unite, and let's take the lead. According to research, students who are undecided about their career path value intellectual curiosity and want a broad range of future options. Often, the first question of whether to pursue academic education or technical vocational training. Many argue that neither pathway is universally ideal. Rather, the best choice depends on an individual's goals, an individual's interests, and their learning style. Some believe that academic education is better suited for those who value versatility and wish to keep their career option wide open, as it offers a broad knowledge base, encourages critical thinking, and may provide greater flexibility for future career changes. However, in contrast, others argue that technical and vocational training is ideal for individuals who prefer a clear, direct route into a specialized profession. They believe that this pathway emphasizes practical, hands-on skills and allows students to enter the workforce more quickly. However, our guests today will unpack these different opinions in detail and proffer sustainable ideas to secure the future of the young people. So our guests for today are the very young people you usually will want to listen to. One of them is Kuruma Bala. And Kuruma Bala is a student of political science and international relations at the Institute of Higher Management in Senegal, but he is a Guinean residing in Senegal. How are you doing, Kuruma? And welcome to the radio.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm going great. What about you?
I'm fine.
Yes,
it's good to have you in our studios today.
Yeah, thank you very
How
much.
is Senegal treating you?
Not too much, but we are managing as we can.
Okay.
See,
It's good to have you. That's wonderful. We also have Bankali Sise in the house. Bankali Sise is a student of African and post-colonial studies at the Sheikh Anta Diop University in Dakar, Senegal. Welcome to the radio, Bankali. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, that's great.
How does it feel like coming on the radio on the Friday? How do you feel?
Oh yeah, very proud. I'm very glad today to be here.
Great.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. We have Margaret Wakwe, and Margaret is a medical laboratory scientist. She's joining us from Nigeria. How are you doing, Margaret? Welcome to the show.
I'm fine. Good evening, everyone.
How is
Good
Nigeria?
evening, everyone. Fine over here. Thank you.
Great. Well, El Malik Jaju is the managing director of Africa Energy Solutions there in the Gambia. It's a pleasure to have with us El Malik Jaju. How are you doing, Malik? Welcome to the program.
Very much. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure, and I extend my regards to my fellow co-panelists and also those who are listening either on radio, YouTube, or any of social media platforms that you guys have. Gambia is great and Banjo is thanks.
Yes, that's the smiling cause, of course. Let's get into the program. Normally, education it's a broad-based field or program, but now we are kind of dividing them into two: vocational training and that of, one would say, the classroom or theoretical form of learning. But beginning with you, Kuroma, what comes to your mind in the first place when you hear the word academic education and technical vocational training? Those two different programs. What comes to your mind when you hear about them?
Right, thank you for having me. So, first of all, you have to know that like both of them are like go together. See, they complete each other. But if it comes to me, like if you ask me about that, I will say academical education is, I cannot say much about that and then know more about vocational education. Sorry, but just me right now, I will defend automatically academical education because right now I'm doing that. And then you just have to know that academical education, well, I can take time to before you enter the job market. You see, but if it depends on the young man, if you know that you are strong in that way, you have to take that way. If you know that you are patient, you can wait and then till you finish the 4 and 5 years. That also is fine. So, but I think that vocational education is in Africa. We need that right now. We need that because everyone we can see through other countries, like foreign country, we will not do something here like learn something that they cannot learn. But if it comes to work like handwork, I think Africa need it right now. You have to
in terms of the vocational training.
Vocational
we have established one person who's already backing academic education. Am I correct that you are firmly into academic education? Am I correct? Let's make it clear. Between the two, which one do you prefer? Because initially you said, Reina, that's why you're doing academic. So let's make it clear. Which one do you support?
Vocational education training. Okay. Vocational training.
Oh, and not the academic that you're doing?
I'm doing I'm doing that, but I prefer vocational training.
Okay, we'll come to you. Why you are in academic and you prefer the other? We'll come back to you. But let's hear from you, Bangali. Share your idea with the public in terms of the tool. How do you understand them, and what would you prefer?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Good afternoon once again, and thank you so much for inviting me here. Let me just thank, first of all, my colleague and brother, Mr. Baibal Lechao, for sharing with me in the program today. And thank you so much for having me here. Here today we are with the Take the Lead program of West African Democracy Radio. And thank you so much, Mr. Augustine Bill Kelly, for inviting me, for confirming my coming here. As far as I'm concerned, academic education versus technical and vocational training skills, both of them are important, very important. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, if you ask me, I would say that technical and vocational skills training is more important than academic school. Because today, young people need more than theory. They need practical, employable skills, which can offer them jobs, which can offer them also money. Because we just don't need diplomas. We just don't want to hold diplomas. But today, Africa, we need those who hold also the competence, the skills, meaning they are able to do something more than theory, more than thinking, just thinking. But I'm not contesting that thinking is not good or academic education is not good. I'm not saying that. But we need more than that now. And we are in urgency. Yeah, we need it here and now. Thank you for asking.
Well, that's great to hear, but I would love to ask you this question. Although you also prefer vocational training education, but your educational level began in the classroom, I guess. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
And you are speaking now in the studio because you learn English.
Yeah, for sure.
In the classroom.
Yeah, for sure.
So are you now wanting to disregard the theoretical aspect of...
Yeah, not at all. So if you understood what I said a while back, you would understand that. Anyway, I am educated from that, meaning academic education. I have studied there, and still now I'm doing that. But through the years that I have learned from primary school to university, I have learned so many things. My experience now is that don't limit yourself to academic education only. If you limit yourself there, you will die. After university, you will discover that, now I have done so much in my life. Meaning, I'm now 55, 25 or things like this. You are old, but you don't have anything. You don't have anything to do. I'm speaking English today, right now, thanks to the education that I get. But guess what? If you don't have money, if you just speak, if you just stand here thinking, what would you have?
All right.
How can you do?
There are more to talk about. Let's hear from Margaret, because I'm also concerned about how much societal expectations influence young people's choice between academic and vocational training skills or training program. What about you, Margaret? What do you make of the societal expectations of young people when it comes to their choices between academic and that of vocational? I know you want to give your opening statement regarding the understanding about the both issues, but you can just, weigh into how do you think society expect these people to make their choices? Are you getting us, Margaret?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing her.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Margaret. Okay, first, I want to establish, what is academic training? Academic training is mostly theory-based, right? Then it spans for a longer period, and then the knowledge is wider. And there is degrees attached to academic training. On the other hand, vocational skills, they are mostly specific. That means it is mostly targeted direct to whatever it is one wants to learn. And then it's equally for a shorter period, and it is more practical. Now, how does society influence whether students, young ones, they go into academic training, academic education or vocational training? Now, for a long while, the force and the drive has been towards academic education. But currently, I like that there are chances are now being given towards vocational training. It's because me, for myself, I'm on the side of academic education. This is because academic education, like, it exposes one, it's social networking related to academic education. There is intellectual building, and there is the research aspect training that is related with academic education. Like, it's a period of training one's mind, training young people's mind. But in addition to that, I don't think someone should just I don't think that someone should just stick to one and say, okay, academic education, and then they just go through it, enter university, come out just for the degree without engaging in other skills. So I feel like young people, in as much as they go into school to get their degree, they can also do other vocational skills. And vocational skill, thank God, now it is beyond just plumbing or carpentry, or even the others that has to do with apprenticeship. Even technical skills now, our soft skills, they are vocational training. So one can also engage in that while obtaining their academic qualifications. Thank you.
Indeed, we've had Margaret supporting academics. One person against two guys so far. Let's hear from Malik. Malik, it's good to have you. In your opening statement, tell us which pathway do you prefer, academic or technical vocational training?
Thank you very much for inviting me on this platform. And, I'm really happy sharing it with a lot of young people across Africa who I believe are the next generation who are going to shape how the continent should look like. For me, I will go with skills and vocational educations. And the reason why is I could just use Gambia as an example. I think a lot of African countries needs to look at their curriculum again, because we spend so much time learning things that we don't actually practice after graduation. And yes, education, the academic education is good, but if you look at nations that are developed, they are developed by people, by engineers, by people who do skills works, and you can look at right now. I'm a businessman, and I'm in the energy sector. Even to get skillful young people who are ready to be employed is a problem. So, and I think looking at our education system, especially the curriculum, is not designed in a way that will cater for the needs and aspirations of our countries. And I think that's one of the reasons why I think governments across Africa needs to focus more on giving young people the opportunity to learn skills. And what that does is, like, we have a lot of young people who are graduates and they are not employed. But if you have a skill, immediately after graduation, if you are not employed, you can go on and then work on your own and becomes an employment creator, or than going around seeking for job. So I think it's about time Africa thinks about what development aspirations do we have, and how do we cater for that, and how are we going to look at our education system and then have a general overhaul to move away from the colonial systems of education and look for educational systems that will cater for our development aspirations. And for me, that's the reason why I am going for vocational and skillful education instead of the academics.
Wow. Thank you, Malik. We will come back to you. Let's hear more from Kuruma when you were firmly talking about one being patient enough to wait 4 years, maybe trying to get a bachelor's degree before now searching for jobs. But as a regard of respect for academic education, do you still believe that the level or the respect in terms of education, learning from the classroom, and then you come out and practicalize it, do you believe that academic education still has that value that one can depend on to make life better? And now that we're talking about vocational training, comparing it with academic education, would you believe that academic education still has that value?
Well, that is a great question, and then I think that for academical skills, like academical training, that is just you just spend some years to look for paper. This is, I can say, diploma. The diploma, our license are just the paper, you see. So if right now you still learning every time you spend a year, I don't know how to be like right now. If I have to answer your question, I can say this is just a form, like to say I'm learning academical education. I'm doing just that is just the name. Currently in Africa, especially, we need vocational skills because all countries in Africa or all continent are there. Let's say are their own culture. You see, in Africa we need more vocational.
So what are the specific aspects of the vocational training that you think most interests you in terms of what is it, carpentry, is it what, some level of masonry, or what specific aspect of the technical work that attracts you the most?
Like the engineer right now, because it's not required to have so many diploma, or I don't know, to do it. If you just have some skills, you can do it, and then you will have opportunity, so many opportunity before waiting after 5 years. That is the most important. That me right now, that is my point. You just spend year at school doing everything instead of coming and doing hand work. But that is fast to get jobs, to get money, than staying to school at school and doing everything.
One important thing is the challenges that people face in choosing their career between academic and technical skills. How do you factor that for you, Bangali? How do you think these people can work on the challenges, and what becomes more difficult for them to choose between the two?
Yeah, you get me in trouble. But anyway, that's a very good question, and I can see that, I can witness that many people are suffering from that. Meaning, they are in a dilemma. They don't know either to choose academic education or technical and vocational skills training. Why? Because most of the time you need to be professional. You need to be mature enough to choose your life. You know, everybody has to know, especially students. Everybody has to know that you are the leader of your life. And you are the one well placed to choose whatever you want in your life, whatever you want your life to be. Because it is not given, but it is earned. It is earned by working. You work on it till you're above to your death. It is you that it creates your own path. So now, you must be very clever. First of all, you may try just academic education. I mean, you can try just to learn maybe for example English or another language that concerns you, that interests you. If you learn that and you know that now I mastered that language, just now go and try and do something else. Why? Because a language is just a language. English, it is very important. It opens many doors. But which doors? Go and open the doors if you have the key. Yes, now English is the key. You already own it. So now, why not go into to learn carpentry, to learn to be an engineer, to be a weldler, things like this, to be a gardener. Those are kind of things that you can try and do some other businesses. Even if you were a student, you can even try to just continuing keeping on your studies and being on businesses. That will help you a lot.
For you, Margaret, now that you support academic education, there is this concern, and Koroman spoke about that one will spend 3 years, 4 years learning a particular program or a subject. Perhaps you're kind of studying physics, or let's say you study history, but you've graduated and you are out there. There's no job for a historian. It's difficult to find a job. There are too many historians out there, in fact. And then it becomes difficult. Now, the reality is that you see different work, like people who are agriculturists, you apply, people who are educationalists, there are offers for them. But you study history, and now you hardly see job offer for historians. What do you think could be the challenges of one choosing academics over technical vocational education, and how can such a person align their ideas or their goals for the future so that when they should have graduated, there should be other options?
Okay, thank you for that question. Now, the problem most students face, or most young people face, is that they approach academic education with the mindset of, let's just go there and get the degree. And I think I talked about this the first time. And that should not be the mindset with which we approach academic education. It should not just be about the paper. It should not just be about the degree. In as much as academic education builds your intellectual mindset, it builds your social life, social status, and everything. Academic education and vocational training, they are not mutually exclusive. That I'm in school and I'm there for the degree does not stop me from also learning a handwork. You understand? So young people should understand this, that they are in the part of academic education should not stop them from also learning a vocational skill. That you are in school, you are working to get your degree should not stop you from picking up hairdressing or welding. Even now, we have many soft skills, data analysis, coding, and the rest of them. It should not stop you. You can maximize the time. That's why when you are coming out, you're equally coming out job ready. In the case that the paper, there is no provision of employment based on the degree you earned, but the intellectual mindset will help you to equally scale higher compared to others that did not pass through academic education. They just went into vocational skill. In academic education, your intellectual ability is built. Your speaking, the way you speak, the way you interact, the way you communicate, the way you think, everything is built. Like you are taken to another higher level. So someone that even passed through academic education and then it's also combining it with vocational training, for me, he will do better than someone that just went straight to vocational training. But that does not mean that I'm saying every person should go into academic education. This is because there are some factors that can hinder one from obtaining an academic qualification. There is the issue of finance. Some persons, it's not like they do not want to get the degree or go into higher institutions, college, and the rest of them. It's just that they are limited by finance. Fine, take up a vocational training. But if the finance is there, if the money is there, I'll advise every young person to go into academic education. They can combine it with vocational training. And while they are there, they should not just focus on getting the degree and getting a white collar job. That is where many people mix it. While they are there, they should probably be building other aspects of their life. They can also take up a vocational training skill. Thank you.
Great. For Malik in the Gambia, I would love to really understand, and for the benefit of the populace, there is this core, mainly, that schools should also introduce TVET aspect into the academic curriculum. But looking at the burden that it brings, already in primary, secondary schools in Africa, we say just a student is reading more than 5 subjects. You get biology, you have history, the science courses are just three, four, five enough before you want to come to other subjects. And now you will have technical vocational training coming up. Don't you think it's a burden? And if you think it's not a burden, how is it like in the Gambia? And what's your idea about having technical vocational courses part of primary institutions? What's your thought about that?
Yeah, I think okay. For me, I think it's really not a burden. I could remember when we were much younger, going to secondary school. There were vocational subjects were part of the curriculum. But I've seen of late, especially after certain changes we have made within the education sector, some of these things are normal. And the reason why I think they need to include them in our education system is because, you see, society gauges one's intelligence mostly in your ability to speak English. And I always tell people, I would have been ashamed of myself if I cannot express myself very well in my mother tongue, because English is not the mother tongue for a lot of, or let me say all of us, So, but most parents also want their kids to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, an accountant, and all these stuff. But sometimes, that's not what the passion of the kid is. So I think because of some of these things, government needs to bring technical subjects back into the education sector, so that they could give some of these kids who are very much intelligent, smart, but their passion for technical subjects is what drives them. And if you look at even the number of students that usually fail common entrance or failed, let me say the West African Examination Councils, the numbers are high. The numbers are high because a lot of times kids or school children don't pick subjects that they are passionate about. It's either the education system that designs some of these subjects for them, or the parents want you to specialize in a specific subject because they feel, out of maybe honor or prestige. Those are some of the reasons why they push their kids to those subjects. Okay, in the Gambia, I've seen that things are changing now. At least of recent, we are starting a university that is purposely dedicated for TVET subjects, which I think is very much important and encouraging, because not everybody could go through the academic way and then make it in life. And you have a lot of young people who have gone to university, they earn degrees, and they're out there. If they are not employed, there's nothing else that they can do. So for me, I think in as much as, we can push the academics is important, but I think if we want to build our countries, if we want to build the next leaders of Africa, I think it's important that we create young people who are thinkers, who are builders, who are able to dirty their hands and then, transform the continent for it to be what it ought to be. Because currently, if you look at most of the engineering work, most of the construction works that are going on, it's either done by multinational companies or companies that are coming from outside Africa, or engineers that are coming from outside Africa, and which I think it's something that we can avoid and the only way we can do that is to give young people the opportunity for them to learn skills. We have seen the Bagway syndrome. A lot of young people are going through the Bagway, and the reason why a lot of these young people go is not that they don't know the route is risky. They know. If you talk to a lot of them, they tell you it's risky. I've seen people who have gone 2-3 times, and still they will tell you if they have the opportunity to go, they will go. Because the reason why? It's because they don't have hope in their own countries. And one of the reasons why they don't have hopes in their countries is because some have gone through the academic education system. At the end of the day, they are not employed. Some have gone, you spend 14 years through your education academic system, you come out with F9. So society sees you as a failure, because after spending 14 years, you couldn't pass to get the entry to university. Society see you as a failure. So all these things are things that, is really pushing young people and, killing their dreams, but also not giving them opportunities. So for me, I think these are some of the challenges that governments across Africa needs to look at, and then, put emphasis on skills and TVET subjects for young people.
Thank you. Well, we have so far listened to interesting conversations with our guests on this 40th episode of Take the Lead in the year 2025. Let's now listen to WADR's Sankule Janko as he provides a report about efforts being made by the Gambia's higher education towards revamping the country's TVET sector for the young people.
I want to break the barriers. What a man can do, a woman can do. So people will be like, this technical side is for men only. So I want to break the barriers to let them know what a man can do, a woman can do. So I choose to study solar.
We are investing for the future because the future is in the hands of the youths, but well-trained youths.
The Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, MOHAST, is embarking on a transformation drive. This includes the development and validation of policy document for technical and vocational education and training, TVET. The National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Agency, NAQA, is the regulatory arm of the ministry. The Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, MOHAST, Professor Per Gomez, places great importance in this regulation and standardization process. Under his leadership, the ministry has developed an agile agenda.
NACA, which is the technical arm of this ministry, National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, is mandated to now ensure that all the tertiary and higher education institutions have entrepreneurship embedded in their curriculum. It means all the curricula in this country, tertiary and higher education, needs to be reviewed to respond to this demand.
Through the partnership of UNESCO and the Korea International Cooperation Agency, KOISA, the ministry embarked on an 8 identified intervention areas, including establishment of incubation system for young entrepreneurs.
The incubator system is aimed at creating employment for the youth. Currently, 20 female and 20 male are being trained, and at the end of the training, they are going to be provided startup kits to set up their own businesses. So it's, in other words, the aim is to improve enterprise development among the youth. And besides, the overall aim of the project is to improve the employment of the youth, the Gambian youth.
Make 3D Company is Gambia's first 3D printers. It was contracted to supply 3D equipment and conduct training for the University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology, USET, for a digital laboratory at Kanifing. Jukadabo is the director of Make 3D Company.
The future of 3D printing in Gambia is quite bright, especially with now with the fact that USET has a whole 3D printing lab and a capacity to manufacture not just for themselves but for outsiders.
A survey conducted to gauge the perceptions of Gambians about TVET reveals that many young people and families prefer office work and academia to skills. TVET is seen as a great tool for youth employment and a solution to migration.
Many thanks to Sankule Janko for that report about TVET in the Gambia.
Hey people, my name is Mello, Afrobeat singer from Guinea, and I love listening to the program Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio.
Hello, my name is Fatou Bintou Rasouké. I'm the CEO of African Start Shop, and I love listening to your program Take the Lead on West Africa Democracy Radio.
Welcome back to Take the Lead, your finest youthful platform that sets the agenda for topical discussions all about young people within West Africa. Let's quickly recognize our partner stations that often rebroadcast this program. Well, we have Albaka Radio in Nigeria. We have Darlin FM. We have Nansit FM in Kaduna State. We have Love FM in Abuja. In Liberia, we have Alternative Youth Radio in Lofa County. We have DCN Radio in Rivers County. We have Kwatika Radio in Bangabong County. We have Radio Bomi in Bomi County. For Sierra Leone, we have African Young Voices in Freetown. We have Radio Baf in Mal. We have Hands of Hope in Freetown. And we have Eastern Radio in Kono District, that's for Sierra Leone. Crossing over to Ghana, we have Radio Path in the Savannah region. We have Royals FM. Now, in the neighboring Gambia, we have Numi FM as well as Radio Veritas. Those are our partner stations that regularly rebroadcast this program during the week. There is this concern that I would love to ask our guests for today. Is it because that technical vocational education offers a quick pathway to getting a job, or mostly it is a fallback position for people who are unsuccessful after graduating from the classroom and they experience difficulty to get job, so they just use that as an alternative? Since I've graduated 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it is not easy for me to find a job, so let me just go and learn carpentry and be a carpenter. Is it because of that people follow the pathway towards technical vocational education, or because TVET offers job so quickly? What do you think about that, Kuruma? What's your response?
So about that, I think that is because of when they finish study and then they don't get anything. They still home. They spend year at university and then finally they have nothing to do. I think that is because of that. And then because it hurts so bad to finish after to spend 4 years at the university and then finish nothing. They have so many persons on job market, you see. So if we come out with a degree that is not enough, it will be difficult for you to find a job that you would like to do. And then I think that the problem is just because they want to have money quickly, and then vocational training gives opportunity quick than educational training.
All right. What's about you, Bangali?
Oh yeah, that's great. That's a great question, but I think it is broader than you mentioned it. Meaning, there are so many push and pull factors to TVET. Meaning, there are things that attract, and there are also things that push us to go there. Yeah, the thing that you mentioned, meaning, because it gives rapidly a job, meaning it gives you money, it gives you things like this. It is quick. Yeah, people love that. Everybody, meaning a human being is just, created like this. We want something very quick. If you want something, we want it here and now. But anyway, there are also things that push us to go there. Why? Because the academic system here, especially in Senegal, is much longer. So long. If you want to finish your studies, you will spend at least 20 years. Meaning 20 years from your age. If you delay the 20 years from your age, what will remain? Nothing. But if you spend all these years without doing anything else besides your studies, after your studies, and now you find that there is nothing to do, there is no job, you will die. You will die from heart attack. I don't know. You see, and there are also things. If you go to the villages, for example, you see that your parents have done almost all their best. They gave you money. They gave you everything you needed from primary school to university. Until now, you see yourself unable to help them back, to pay them back what they gave you. You cannot even afford yourself. That's a pity. And now, I'm not going to directly blame the government, but everybody. The blame is to put on everybody, every single of us, because the government has its part to, meaning its role to play, and also everybody else has their role.
Great, Bangali. Let's get your recommendations now. Beginning with you, Margaret. What are your recommendations to governments, to institutions, to even the very young people as to which best pathway offers, if not quicker job, but a better future for the young people?
Okay. Okay, my recommendations to the government. I feel like the same importance that is given to academic education should also be given to vocational training, and with the same loudness and awareness that goes to academic education, and vocational training should also receive the same. This is because most at times vocational training is mostly seen as the inferior. Like some of the guests in this meeting have pointed out, some people see vocational training as the second best option. That means if academic education has failed me, let me now pick up a skill. But that should not be how it should be. It should be based on one's interest, based on finance. It should not just be a second best option. Then to the young people, my recommendation to them is, irrespective of, even if you are going for academic education, you can combine it with vocational skill. They are not mutually exclusive. And vocational skill should not be what you fall back on. Falling back on vocational skill when academic training has failed you is just like, it's something like a settling. You're settling for less. Yes. But you can even okay, let me just give an instance. Back in my undergraduate days, I had a coursemate that she was still in my line of study, but she was actively pursuing her vocational training in hairstyling. And we knew, everybody in my class, we knew that chances of her going into medical laboratory science was very low. She was saying it that she wants, after school, when she gets the degree, she's going to pursue her hairstyling business, expand on it. And there's also another aspect that we have not spoken about. Vocational training offers entrepreneurial skills, and that is what most young people are looking for now. Most young people, they don't want to work under somebody, do a 9-to-5 job, be tied down. Okay. They want flexibility. They want something that can yield dividend and the rest of it.
Okay. So
that entrepreneurial aspect of vocational training is what I like, in that from there you can be your own boss. It's not like academic education that takes long to become your own boss. So young people, just know what is good for you. But if you're in the academic setup, please, you can also combine it with the vocational skills.
Thank you. Thank you, Margaret. We hope to have you on the program another time. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Welcome.
All right, let's get your recommendations finally. Malik, please. Malik, are you getting us?
Yes. For me, I would advise young people to learn more skills because it gives them independence. It opens doors to jobs and other opportunities. It opens doors for you to be an entrepreneur, and which is to be self-employed. So even though I know our governments are not spending much compared to the academics with regards to the TVET courses, and that also is something that is pushing young people away from it. But I think even the young people who wants to travel abroad, when you have a skills, you stand the chance of having job opportunities to be employed way better than those within the academic sector.
All right.
And the reason why I think young people need to go and learn skills, or they need to do the TVET subjects, is like, if you look at the academics, we spend almost close to 20 or 20 something years of our life. At the end of the day, you get to university, you are graduated, you became a graduate, and without being employed, you cannot do anything for yourself.
All right.
And the reason why most times young people get frustrated is because, looking back, like the earlier speaker said, our parents would have spent so much money in sending us through the education system, at the end of the day, we come back and we are not able to at least provide the bare minimal for ourselves, talk less of our families. So I think these are some of the reasons why I think young people.
Thank you, Malik. Thank you so much. Thank you so kindly.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure. We hope to have you another time. And thank you, Kuruma, for also being with us today. We hope to have you another time on the program. Thank you for coming so much. And to you, Bangali, as well.
Yeah.
It was great having you on the show. Please.
It is a pleasure for me.
We will get you another time.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yes. Well, listeners and viewers, this is where we shut the doors on this edition of Take the Lead in the year 2025. I am Augustine Cully. Remember to take the lead in shaping the discourse for the betterment of young people in Africa. I'm wishing you all the best at the moment.
Take the Lead is back in 2025 with a brand new format. Yes, your youth exchange space will now be broadcast live every Friday at 4:05 p.m. Universal Time. And that's not all. Dear internet users and WADR subscribers, you have the opportunity to experience the show live and direct on our online platforms on Facebook at WADR English Service and on YouTube at WADR. Take the Lead every Friday from 4:05 p.m. Universal Time and rebroadcast same day at 1 a.m. Universal Time. Also on every Tuesday, your youth program will be rebroadcast at 7:15 a.m. and 4:05 p.m. GMT. Take the lead and champion the discourse for the betterment of young people.
WADR